what's up? Welcome to Crypto Sparbook Show. There's a lot of things going on here in the. Sorry, guys. Welcome to HEX Crypto Sparbook tour. There's a lot of things going on right now. I'm so excited. As you see, we have Hex Pulse and Pulse X to discuss, but also we will discuss the tour and later on as well the price, which always everybody is really excited about to hear.
Yes, so also hello from my side, everybody out there. I hope everybody is doing fine, even if we got like a little heart attack this morning when we looked at the hex price. We will cover that a little later in our price analysis. And yeah, what else do we cover today? We cover a little bit of our tour. We are here in Phoenix. Tomorrow will be our last workshop before the Hex conference in Vegas. Then after the Hex conference, it's still not over, so there are more events to come as well. And then we look into the Pulse X sacrifice phase, which is only going on for another day and I guess 2 more hours or something. And then we also do the price analysis, because there is plenty to talk about when you look at market charts.
So the viewers are building up in the chats right now. If you have questions, if you want to ask anything, just choose us a message and we can ask the Hex Lion right away. So why don't we put up our screen share really quick? I have 2 Twitter posts to share, so just for the little introduction, and then we start talking about our crypto, right? So the first thing that we have here is just recently yesterday, the big talk with Richard Hart and Peter Schiff. I think it was a really, really good talk. I loved how Richard Hart was destroying Peter. It was so easy for him, right? Because the only thing that matters for me in crypto is making amazing, huge gains, right? This is why we are investing. Why is anybody investing in gold if you cannot make any gains there at all? And I think from that point alone, the stream was run by Richard Hart. What is your opinion on that stream?
Yeah, it was interesting that Peter went away from things he said in the past. Because in the past, I remember that because I researched this guy like before I found out about Richard Hart, and he was in 2017 and so on. He was always shit talking Bitcoin and always talking about gold and gold and gold. Maybe he changed his mind a little bit in the 2020 COVID dip, where gold did not outperform anything. Gold as well as silver went down with everything else together. So maybe he changed a little his opinion on there, because it surprised me a bit that he said, no, it's like maximum like 10% allocation of gold, nothing like that, and the rest like in dividend stocks and income producing assets and so on.
So Patrick, let me ask you this. Richard Hart and Peter Schiff, they're both successful men, and they're both agreeing on a lot of things. For example, that the FED is just producing inflation to give it to the people, right? This is where the value comes from. This is where the money can now loan you more money. So they are agreeing on a lot of things, like for example, also self-sovereignty, right? Which Peter is also a big fan of. So Richard Hart provided us with all those solutions. So why does Peter Schiff does not see the big value here?
Because Peter is just like other people thinking that he is the most intelligent in the world and nobody knows it better. And he's unable to just reflect his own track history. Because if you look at the track history of Peter Schiff versus the track history of Richard Hart, you have like a 1,000,000x difference.
It's crazy, right? So Huge Jazz is saying he kept interrupting every time Richard was making a point. And I think this was because the microphone of Peter was a little bit higher. And this is why Richard pretty much had no chance when he was talking and Peter talking over him to even get heard. Later on in the interview, they fixed the sound, and then it was way, way better. If you want to watch this interview, go to Richard Hart's YouTube channel. He uploaded the video also already, and it's way better audio quality on there.
That's true. And then you said you have like a second tweet to show as well.
Second tweet, really, really exciting. Just 4 hours ago, Agape Hex posted this NASCAR update. JJ Geely is driving the Hex car for the Xfinity Series in Las Vegas, Saturday, March 5th. In the number 66 Toyota Supra. Then he will race the number 55 car at Talladega April 24th. So I think this is really, really exciting. We get a couple or more races from our event here. And everybody will be in Vegas, right? We will have so many Hexicans there. Maybe some Hexicans decide to arrive a little bit early on March 5th and also to support Jaylee on this race.
I already know like a lot of Hexicans which are already there over the weekend, and I think this event will be definitely worth it, you know. So we had a blast at Daytona already, lots of people there, and even if JJ was not driving in the race because he lost in the qualifying, we still had a blast there. We still onboarded a ton of people, you know. We still spread the word about Hex Pulse Chain and Pulse X, and we spreaded it by throwing t-shirts out of a Lamborghini Hurricane, and we had like 300 heads there. We had lots of t-shirts there. We had business cards there. We had Texas Hexican made like 10,000 business cards and 10,000 of those little flyers which you can unfold with some more details. So they were also a great onboarding tool throughout the event days.
Oh yeah, for sure. We generate a lot of content. Now we are putting that out. People now will see Hex.com had a car at NASCAR. This is amazing. I got so many messages from people that they were asking, how is the Hex community able to pull such a thing off?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a great, great event.
And also there in Vegas, we will again have business cards, we will have stickers, we will have some hats. I guess there will be some t-shirts as well. We need to think about that, I guess. But awesome, you know, and the community just did here a nice follow-up in order to get the Hexicans there. You know, the conference starts on the 6th throughout the 9th, and by being in this race on the 5th, it's like a nice racing kickoff for the educational event for the days to come. And of course, even if we lost the qualifying, we get the follow-up race in Talladega where they have some time to prepare the car to make it faster, and also train a little bit more.
So Patrick, this is it with my Twitter here. I do not have any more posts prepared, but we have some questions from the chat. So let's look into this. Van Mozart is saying, I think this recent Hex crash catapulted us far from any dollars anytime soon. Thoughts? Please next play.
The thoughts I will share towards the end of the stream when we do the price analysis.
All right, so we put that at the end of the stream, no problem. I don't see any further questions besides that. So what is next? What should we talk about Pulse, Pulse X, or maybe even Hex? What is the first thing you want to talk about?
The first thing I want to talk is Pulse X, because it's like the recent thing going on right now. If you want, we can move my screen share up as well. I'm just at the site pulsex.com, and here we see that in a little less than 2 hours, we will have the last increase of the 5% rate, where it will jump to a little over $10, and as of right now you need 950 to get the 10,000 points, but you also get the 75% volume flat bonus that will continue for the next 26 hours, and then the sacrifice phase is officially over. If you haven't sacrificed, I wouldn't personally recommend doing that right now. I would just go and buy the Hex dip. Usually cryptocurrencies tend to go up towards events, so history could rhyme itself here, and we can see a Hex price rising towards the actual fork date.
Exactly. So why don't we scroll down a little bit further, and then you see the sacrifice phase is coming to an end, and I'm so excited to see, because from that moment on, actually, every single day the fork could appear, right? We are thinking about maybe a month, maybe two, we do not know, but the Pulse X sacrifice to be over is the first thing that needs to be done in order for the fork to start, right?
Right. So what things need to be done? At first, we need this 26 hours to finish. Then we have every sacrifice in. Then they need to calculate all the sacrifice points to the right addresses and determine the total supply of Pulse X. And then what else is needed? A live stream of Richard Hart explaining some details of the automated market maker bot, and then we can start what I know. So besides that, everything is done according to Richard, and I hope that in the beginning of March we get a live stream from Richard telling us 4 more weeks or something like that.
Something like this. There are some certainties that we already have, like we know we will have Pulse, and Pulse X in the future, and we know there will be an incentive token on Pulse X, right? Do you have any thoughts on this new incentive token? Can you give us a little spiel what it will be, and why do we not know anything yet?
Sure, a little bit. Some information I know. So it's a reward token. We don't know the tokenomics yet. We just know that it will also contain a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and every Pulse X holder will have voting rights within this DAO. What is the DAO for? The DAO is for to determine how much reward tokens each and every liquidity pool should get, and by voting that is achieved, and then we will see what kind of price this reward token could achieve in the future. It's like a Uniswap incentive token, like the QuickSwap token, or I guess on BSC they have like another incentive token. I guess that's the cake token also. And those tokens did well in the past, and there is also a good chance for this reward token to increase its value. Maybe not really fast, maybe not in the beginning, but at the latest, when there is a new hype cycle going on in the crypto market, each and every coin will go up as well. And then what is your strategy? You can provide liquidity in order to farm this reward token as well. You, instead of doing nothing, you could just do this and collect this reward token and just wait until you have a price which satisfies you in the future, and then you can create some liquidity there.
So Patrick, this was now all about Pulse X. Is there something left that you want to mention? Other than that, I would go maybe to pulsechain.com.
Yeah, sure. Just one more thing. When it comes to pulsexlead.com, remember the pulsex.lead site was only during the time with the volume ramp up bonus between 1x up to 2.5x, and this was only until the 21st of February. So each and everybody out there who made a late sacrifice phase in those days with the flat bonus, you will not find your volume here on this side. Only when you sacrifice between the first day and the 21st of February, you will find this here. And this stands here, the volume bonus phase is over. This site has stopped tracking transactions. So for late sacrifices, you just need to wait. And in order to see if you sacrificed, you need to go on EtherScan, copy paste your address, and there you see if you sacrificed it to the right Pulse X sacrifice address. So
what I would like to discuss next is how easy it is to change from your Ethereum blockchain to the Pulsechain blockchain. Have you the pulsechain.com site already open?
Sure, pulsechain.com would be open, and in order to show that easier, or really show that, because in the previous stream I already did that, what I need to do is delete the Pulsechain network at first. So, and now I have like a clean MetaMask again, and then we just need to go on pulsechain.com. Either we can manually type here everything in, but it's also a faster way possible. We just need to go here to the official faucet v2 testnet pulsechain, and here we have a switch to or add pulsechain testnets to MetaMask. I click on that, my MetaMask opens up. I guess you can see the MetaMask, right? Yes. And then I see pulsechain testnet, network details for this chain ID do not match. That's because of testnet and so on for 940. If you want to, you can recheck that on pulsechain.com and then just approve, switch network, and then let's see, because I already requested one, let's see if it works. Because it should, yeah, it's only working in a 24-hour period, and I already did that. But if I open up the MetaMask right now, we would be here in the Pulse Chain testnets, and I did that like a month ago already to mint one test pulse, so that's why we have 2 test PLS in our
And
account.
since you are in the setting, why don't you try to send this test pulse so we can see how few of fees we will pay for that? Just click on send.
Yeah, oh, sure.
And then it should show up. It will be a lot of zeros.
Yeah,
with a
can
little
you
bit TP.
provide me with any address?
Just use your own onboarding address. It works too. Transfer between my accounts.
Yeah, but I just...
Of course, you can put in another address as well.
Yeah. Just
Maybe the number 1 address here.
Yes.
We will send them some test pulse.
Okay, and then send. Copy paste the address in. New address. Test pulse 1. Next. And here we see the fees, which are 4 zeros and then a 49. And given that one pulse should be less than 1 cent in the beginning, that's like a 10,000th of a penny in order to make one transaction. That's why we always say it's enough to just keep 0.01 Ethereum over the fork if you haven't sacrificed for the Pulse chain sacrifice phase.
But
because with this 0.01 pulse, free pulse, what you get, you will be able to make several transactions.
So there is this sentence out there that you only have scalability problems when you scale, right? Since this is the testnet, is there a possibility once Pulse chain is out that actually the fees will be higher than what we are seeing here with 4 zeros? Because
there is a possibility if the chain fills up, slowly, but 4 zeros is...
Exactly, this is what I want to ask you. How long it will take until we maybe reach fees like this we have in Ethereum? Maybe never, right? Because we do not have proof of work, but proof of stake.
Maybe when Pulse reaches $1 or $10, then maybe we get near the Ethereum fees. But
so my point is we can do a lot of access
we'll never
before.
go that near because it's proof of work versus proof of stake, and it's 3 seconds block time versus 13, and there is so much room for scalability on the Pulse chain that I take it back. I guess that will not even at those prices happen.
Exactly. All right, so we have discussed Pulse X. Now Pulse chain. Is there something else that we have forgotten and we have not talked about it yet?
No, I guess we covered that all. The Pulse X we covered, the Pulse X lead that you don't expect to that the site shows your estimated points if you sacrificed now in the last few days. We showed how to enter easily Pulse chain testnets. You still see my MetaMask here. You see when I click in the top here, I see the different mainnets and testnets, which there are, and just with this little switch button in the future, here you will see Pulse chain mainnet and not Pulse chain testnet, and then you just switch to the network you want to speak with. You can have connected hardware wallets to both networks, no problem. Yeah,
Patrick, why don't we talk about how much has been sacrificed for Pulse X so far, and maybe even what did the OA of Pulse Chain do? So you told me that you had like backup hacks where you had the numbers of how much is staked, how much is sacrificed. You know which one we were looking at in the German stream?
Yeah, you mean like app hacks?
Exactly. This is what I wanted to see. So now let's see. We have 9.6% of all the hex supply is staked, and how much is sacrificed? Like a couple of hours ago, I saw it was like 47% of all the hex supply being sacrificed for Pulse X.
I know. I just don't know exactly like what I do need to enter here in order to get it.
But everybody knows what we are talking about. If you want to see that, go to apphex.win. Maybe right now the numbers are not updated, but you know, of course, exactly what I want to talk about it. What is your point on DOA sacrificing so much supply of hex?
We saw it in the past, so we saw it already during the Pulse chain sacrifice set, and it has to do with centralization of ownership, because those assets are way more likely to appreciate in price if there is in the beginning a centralization of ownership. It's the same with real businesses as well. If I start a real business, I have 100% of the share. Then I might do some fundraising campaigns or something like that where I need to give up some percentages of my shares. But usually, most percentage always stays with the creator. And what we saw with the Pulse chain sacrifice phase was the OA sacrificing a lot to get like 90% of the total supply, and we saw the same thing with Pulse X here as well. So a lot of price appreciation possibilities for the years to come.
For me, the most important thing is that we can see all those addresses from the Hex OA's Pulse OA, right? And we can see what they are doing. The most important thing is that they have never sold a single coin, which does not hurt the price. So the next question from Dr. Kindle: what happens to all the ERC20 coins owned by exchange wallets at the fork?
If they have their cold hardware wallet storages, they get on those keys, they get the copy. And if they do something with this copy or not is on the exchanges.
Yeah, we do not know, of course, what they will do, but often we refer to the problem that a lot of people hold their coins on Coinbase, for example. They do not hold their own keys. So Coinbase will get a copy, and you will not be able to have a copy from your coins that you would actually hold, right, on Coinbase. So that's it. Are there some more questions from the chat here? I cannot see any yet. So this is now a question to you. Please ask us all the questions that you may have so we can discuss that here in the chat. Uncle Larry is saying, I know it's late and you get a worse rate to sacrifice for Pulse X now. Do you think it's possible to get a better deal when Pulse X launches compared to sacrificing now, for example?
I think so, yes.
So, and then of course you need to have a game plan as well, right?
I cannot specifically say yes in the first 10 minutes or something, but usually those early moments a coin
really
goes
volatile,
up,
right?
and then like reaches this point again, you know.
So, Patrick, let us give a person like this a little game plan here. So let's say you do not want to sacrifice for Pulse X right now because the rate is not that good, right? What should you wait for? Maybe what could you do today, and what could you do after a fork is happening?
What you can do today is prepare everything. Get your crypto accounts ready. Get your fiat money ready. Get your fiat money into crypto. And given the price of Hex right now, you can also consider buying the Hex dip.
Buying the Hex dip, and then once the fork happens, you get your Hex doubled. What could you do then if you want to acquire Pulse and Pulse X?
With your forked Hex, you will be able from the get-go to swap those Hex on the Pulse chain into Pulse X or Pulse as you wish.
Really, really easy. I think this is a good game plan that somebody can follow once the fork comes out. Perfect. So we are waiting for some more questions here from the chat. I see you have something prepared here as well. What do you want to show us?
I just brought up the sacrifice address of the Pulse X sacrifice, where you can see like the stable coins in there, where you can still see like all the Hex in there, and yeah, I guess there are some movements going on as well, and yeah, that's about it. I was just looking over it.
It's interesting, right? Ethereum is the most quantity in there?
No?
Or just because it's up there, I thought it's the most one. I have not been able to look at the numbers yet.
Yeah, no, it's just like with Ethereum it starts and then it goes volume-wise. Here at value, you see like the 277 million of DAIs, the 105 million of USDC, 40 million of USDT, Gemini dollar wrapped USDT through USDC, and there is like some wrapped Bitcoin Theta Core token also inside. I guess some late sacrifices here, and you would need to analyze this address a little bit more, because I just know that there are more stable coins, and I'm sure that already moved to a different place. But yeah, I don't have the time right now to go over, I don't know, 90,000.
We are really, really busy right now. A lot of things are
Totally.
happening. We've just been in Daytona. Patrick, can you do me a favor and open up free? What is our manager's site again? I forgot it.
What
How's
was
it possible?
freedomtv.info?
Freedomtv.info. Jesus. Can you open up freedomtv.info so we can look at this beautiful page and learn about our schedule? And we have a question here from Travis. Maybe too soon to ask, but there's a plan. Is there a plan for group purchases of NASCAR tickets for Vegas? Well, I do not know about that. It's just been 4 hours that it's been announced. Maybe you get into contact with Agape Hex and then you can ask him directly. But why I want to go to freedomtv.info is because Will is saying, Unka Will here, we will be in Phoenix tomorrow. What is the address for the 5555 tour meeting place? So what we can do now is scroll down and then look up where the address is so everybody can come to Phoenix Workshop tomorrow. And there you see it already, the Phoenix Workshop. It is in Central Ave. There's the address.
In 132 South Central Avenue.
And we have 26 people already RSVP plus those 3 pictures as well. And I know for sure that a lot of people will come that did not RSVP yet. This makes it a little bit hard for us to plan sometimes because we never know how many people will actually come. Right now we are always up to 50 plus people, right? So if you are watching this and if you want to come to Phoenix tomorrow, go ahead to freedomtv.info and RSVP. This helps a lot. And then also what you can do, since we have so many viewers here right now, look through all the other dates in the schedule, because we also have plans in Vegas, right, Patrick?
Yes, we do. So in Vegas, Saturday the 5th would be this race, and then on Sunday and Monday after the Hex conference day, we have dinners with Crypto Sparbuch. Sunday is just a little dinner, only a few RSVPs possible here, but Monday we have a bigger dinner planned. Up to 80 people could come, and if you want to be part here, then just RSVP. It says here 32, but on the list there are already nearly 50 people, because some people just DM us and don't do the RSVP, which is not needed. You can also go just with a DM at Let's Talk About Hex on Telegram or Black Hexican on Twitter. Then you reach Kaylin and she can give you the details and everything as well.
It will be a lot of fun. One of the restaurants that we go to will be like 200 plus Hexicans, right? That we organized. No, isn't that one big? Okay, maybe it's not.
80, I said, not
80.
200.
Okay.
You
Still
like 80, to exaggerate numbers.
80 is still a
always,
crazy
right?
number for people that come to one dinner, I believe.
Yep.
So, okay, this was Freedom TV.
Now I know what you are talking about with 200. So here on the 9th, on Wednesday, this is the last day of the conference. And after the last conference day, Naga Bo, one community, one Hexican OG, rented a mansion and plans a big party there, and there will be like about
I probably confused it with that, John. You see, from the 6th to the 9th, like every single day in Vegas, there will be a lot of things going on. I'm really, really excited. If you haven't bought the tickets yet, go to hexconference.com and secure your ticket now, because it will be epic for sure. So many people that we met on the road right at the 5555 tour were saying, we are definitely coming, we are going. But when we asked, like, do you have your ticket yet? And nobody bought it. Why is that? Because everybody's, I guess, waiting for the fork. They want their financial energy to be doubled.
Yeah, the earlier the people bought their ticket, the better they did.
In this case,
looks like
in this case, it was actually like this, because the price was a little bit higher in the past.
That's true. All right, so should we talk about price, or do you have more questions for the chat?
I don't see any questions yet, but I bet you once you bring up the price, the people will flood the chat with questions. Okay,
first of all, I want to bring up the fees a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. No, you probably did not saw that. But just a moment ago, it was below 50, and now it's spiked up to 70. Just for everybody who is new out there, please take some time and watch those fees a little bit. If you want to start stakes, if you need to end stakes, you have plenty of time to do that. Yeah, it can progress even for days. Only when you need to swap from one coin to a different coin, there you need to do it a little quicker, or like with the average of right now. But when it comes to start stakes and end stakes, you can just move the way down, just increase the gas a little bit, and then it can just stay there until it gets processed. Because for example, today I already saw under 40 GWei as well, and it's still fluctuating a lot because of depending how much transaction on the ETH
But I think
blockchain should go through right now.
it's important to mention that if you want to do several transactions on one day and you make your transaction going through at like 25 GWei, so it takes a lot of time because you want to be cheap and safe, then you can only do one transaction at a time, and you would have to wait until this transaction really goes through until you can then make the next transaction.
Yeah, that's true. Mostly people have like a yearly stake, for example, and there you can even wait some days in order to save something on the fees.
Maybe this is so important for me because I did the mistake of making way too many stakes, right? And every heavy birthday date is coming now. I have about like 30 stakes to end, right? And I can unfortunately not do this technique where I just put the GWeis down so much, because then I would have to wait long times to end stake all my stakes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm discussing this, so you do not do the same mistakes as I did. Like gather all your stakes together, and then you are way more free to transact on the blockchain.
I really don't know why you did that. I have not a... Maybe I have like 3 days out of 5,555, or I have 2 stakes to end.
I have no idea why I did that, and this was a little mistake. Luckily, Hex went up in price 10,000x, so all my little stakes, they are pretty good to end stake. I cannot wait until the October.
All right, and now let's move over to the price chart.
Yes.
Do we have any questions before I start with the price chart, or just
No questions
go
yet?
ahead?
Let's go ahead.
All right, so let's look at the general market structure what we have. Last year, June, July, we had the sacrifice phase going on for Pulse Chain. We had at first an announcement that it will start in 3 days. Then we had like a more than a double of the coin itself. Whales pumped the price in order to get more volume in the sacrifice phase. Only the first 5 days were like with a straight no time loss bonus, without a time loss. Then we got like this huge dip down where a big seller sold a bunch of hex in a single transaction, gave a lot of opportunity for the newer market participants. And we also see sacrifice phase started, and then it went down, had another blip up, went down again, and then it started going up. And now let's see what happened with the previous, with the Pulse X sacrifice phase. We had in the beginning of December the downturn here to 12 cents, and then the announcement that the Pulse Chain sacrifice phase will start towards the end of the year. And then we had like this ramp up as well. It started on the 29th of December, initial daily pump here in order for the whales to get in a better sacrifice rate, and then it went down again, had this little blip up because it was longer the time period of no time loss, so that was like this little spike up there, and from there it went down even more. And what we see here is like a double bottom right now, here and here, which came from the volume, from the market structure volume of the Pulse Chain sacrifice phase. And we have like one tested low here, we have another touch here, and now here the third touch, which could lead to a strong support already. What I did previously in the German stream, I had my support line at 1160, a little down here, and I just moved it up, and it fits perfectly to those two dips. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days, but tomorrow sacrifice phase is over. Here sacrifice phase was over as well. It just took the price a few more days to, okay, which direction should I go right now? And then it took off. It does not mean that this time it will be the same thing, but it could be, because in this time here there was a lot of expectations from people that Pulse Chain will launch really quickly, and it didn't. So at first here is like a lot of expectation in there, which also led like to this 70% downturn afterwards. And now when Richard gives us more clarity, a real time frame, okay, in this week we launch, or in this 3 hours the fork will happen, then that would be the right signal for the market, and we can expect a rising hex price, so more than likely.
This is exactly also what I wanted to ask you. Like you said right now, we can expect a rising hex price because currencies tend to rise before the event. And could you go with the mouse to the moment when the Pulse Chain sacrifice ended, right? And then ended, yeah.
Okay, so because it got announced here, then we had this ramp up, and then it ended 7 days later. That was here
back down there, right? And after that the price went up immense, right?
Yeah, and at first it was like this little up down, and then
Patrick, in tomorrow when the Pulse X sacrifice ends, right, we are also now expecting Richard Hart live stream where he tells us a moment where the fork will occur, right?
I don't expect it like tomorrow,
but someday, right? And this can then be like, okay guys, you want to buy Hex before the fork, right? So we are expecting people to FOMO again. At least this is what I'm doing, right? I'm expecting a price rise towards this event.
Yeah, and also look at all those traders out there. So they will still slowly realize, oh, there is like a possibility, there is like a event and so on. And what will you buy right now if you just found out about everything? Then you can only buy Hex, because it's way too late to sacrifice for Pulse Chain. It's also overpriced to sacrifice for Pulse X. So the only thing what you can buy right now in order to be able to transact in the beginning of the new blockchain is Hex, because the Hex will get a copy on the Pulse Chain. And of course, in order to build up this portfolio, you need like a little fraction of Ethereum. And with the freemium pools, which result in this little fraction of Ethereum, you will have enough pools to be able to transact a few times. So you can easily go with your copied over Hex into Pulse or into Pulse X. You can also try that with stablecoins, but stablecoins could not have value in the beginning on the Pulse chain, the forked ones, the copied ones. So the best strategy for people who are just coming to the market right now is buy Hex, in my point of view.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Patrick, is there a possibility that if somebody would go to bed now and he has no exposure to crypto yet, right? Richard Hart would announce the fork. Would this person then be able to get a copy of the coins if he buys after Richard's announcement?
If he buys after the announcement, yes, of course. If he buys after the actual fork, no.
All right, so this is what generates FOMO, right? So this is why I'm saying, like, we are just waiting for this announcement and the prices should go ballistic from there.
Let's see. Yeah, history rhymes, but does not need to repeat itself. So, and I don't know, it's also hard to say, because back then, Pulse Chain sacrifice phase, summer of last year, it was still, everything was hyping still, beginning of last year, everything was hyping immensely. And right now we are in downturns, and coins can also do well in bear market, but not so well than in bull markets.
Oh yeah, that would be way better in bull markets, because then everybody would like to play, right?
Yep.
And it's not the case in the bear market. But what we love to do in the bear market is just look at our staker app, because every couple of days the numbers are just going up and I'm having more Hex than I had before.
Yeah, I would like to have like a switch in the staker app, because staker app shows you the Hex as a little number and the US dollar value in a big number. And I would like to have a switch. Because then, like, when the price goes down, you just point out the hex, and you see like each and every day, okay, more, and then when price comes back up, you can put on the US dollar switch again.
Switch it back again, yeah. And actually, I would love to have a switch where I would take off the dollar prices entirely, right? I hate to look at my staker when the prices are down. My mood is going down like this as well.
Yeah, then don't look at the staker when price goes down.
Yeah, but I need to watch how many stakers we have every day, though.
Yeah, then
I like that metric.
Okay, yeah, no, you see that right away.
And the numbers are going up right now as well. I think of today we are at 80,000 stakers right now, right?
We reached 80,000.
I heard that somewhere.
Nice.
I have not verified it yet because I do not want to look at the price. And then also, of course, what is going up? The average staking duration. It should be by 6.3 down, right?
We can look that up. Let's go on Hex Daily Stats.
For me, this is the most important metric in the Hex ecosphere. The average staking duration going from 4.8 to 6.3 now is just amazing, because this is showing us people have more and more trust in this Hex smart contract.
Yeah, we have a payout per T-share expected today of 609. We were like a little under 6 the last few days. And then, what number would you like to see?
The average staking duration.
The average.
The weighted average staking duration, you actually have to say, right?
Yep, it's a weighted. And
so many numbers.
Here, average stake length in years. We are at 6.28.
28. It's even going up. Like yesterday, it was 27.
Yeah,
Great.
and it is because of 10 days ago, the God Whale made a huge new 5555 stake. So for 15.2 years, and he got 150,000 T-shares for that. And you see that by doing that, he moved from 6.11 on the day before. Then his stake went live and increased the average weighted staking duration of 0.15 years. So 0.15, I guess that's 2 months or something.
So let's talk about this,
really
what you just said. The God Whale staked $200 million worth of Hex on this day for 15 years.
Yes.
We, of course, know because of the truth engine, he will not or cannot even sell it. How much Bitcoin does El Salvador, a government, for example, holds? El Salvador has Bitcoin worth, of course, now it went down a little bit, about $5 million. So imagine one single entity in Hex owns 200 million and they locked it up for 15 years. The government, the Salvadorian government, they can sell the Bitcoin anytime and hurt the price. Well, the God Whale, he won't. The God Whale says Hex is genuine money. I love that.
Yeah, and here we see this as well. Here we see like a change in T-shares of plus 149,000. Since this day his stake is live. So this was like the first day where he was live, and then on the next day it gets in the system or he was pending. And yeah, what we see here as well is increase in T-share rate, as already explained several times how it works. And here we saw, for example, somebody end staking old long stake, spiking the share rate a bit, and then it took like 3 days where there was no further increase needed, and then on the fourth day here, so to speak, there was the next little increase.
You said it so well right now. There was no further increase of the T-share rate needed. Why did the smart contract decide to not move up the T-share price after this day?
So in this 72-hour period, all the end stakes which happened, from the get-go, they couldn't get more shares by restaking their principal plus all the accrued interest for the same amount of days again. And as they couldn't increase their shares by doing that, the share rate stayed unaffected as well. Only like here, there was one end stake occurring, which could get more shares by restaking everything for the same time. And in order that also this person cannot cheat the system, the share price moved up 18.4 hex. And by doing that, this staker can also not get more shares by restaking principal plus all the accrued interest for the same amount of time again.
Longer must pay better, and this is why we have the T-share price only going up. It's such a beautiful system that Kyle and Richard Hart were able to come up with, right? The compounding effect that we have in the real world, just now in a different way that gets it to the people now. I really, really like it. Okay, guys, we have 15 more minutes here in our Crypto Sparbuch stream. Now we need you, because we need your questions for this last section of the Q&A. Because if we do not get any more questions, I guess we are pretty much done with our live stream for the day.
So we are looking forward and see each and everybody who is listening in Vegas in next week or the beginning of the week afterwards. Don't forget what we showed you with the next racing event. Let's make a nice onboarding event out of Saturday the 5th on the Speedway of Las Vegas. Let's onboard all those people there. I had like lots of fun in Daytona, so a lot of those people have heard about crypto but never were like too afraid, to make the first clicks or something like that. And if we go there and show them how it's done, show them their first few clicks, what they need to do, show them what strong of a community we are, then I'm sure we can have a nice quality marketing event out of that as well.
Patrick, next question from DK Hexican. Is
Yes.
the button in yet?
Is the what?
Is the bottom in yet?
I would say so. Yes, I would say so.
Let's go back to your chart, because you have a line there that would actually say, yes, the bottom is on, right? Let's bring on the screen share for a second, because we are touching this line now for the third time, I believe.
I need to say that I moved it from 1160, where I had it a little bit up, where it really fits the, the three dots here. Still, I cannot be 100% sure. So what we had in the past was here this window here that was like the Crypto Sparbuch buying zone. We moved out of this buying zone already, like here and here a little bit, and now as well. So of course, like for us as Crypto Sparbuch, now is the right time to further dollar cost average in. Remember, never all in, never all out, and always be a little liquid, that you can participate in those nice turndowns. So today when I woke up, it was like, oh shit, but then on the next moment, like, nice, let's tell some people to buy this tip right now, and usually they did great. So for example, I know from 2-3 German community members who got in here, like in those two spikes on those 2 days, and they are pretty happy to get such a low price, and I don't know exactly like what is going on in the world right now, so what will come, and if we see like huge problems coming up, then there is a possibility that we further go down, but if not, then I would say the bottom is in, yes.
DK Hexicans is saying it's crazy. 13 cents hex before the double, right? And I do not know why, but I just realized 1 year ago we were at 1 cent. Before that, right, we were always saying it would be amazing if hex could reach 1 cent. And then the top 50 cent, amazing, right? So now 13 cents, the best buying opportunity. And then when
just bring up my screen share once more, because now I just for the newer people to show again. Look, so here now the low is like 44 Gwei, and before when I showed it, it was like 72 to 68. So just have a little bit of time, how long was that now? Like 15 minutes? So even with your 30 stakes a day, you would need to wait only 15 minutes.
But Patrick, like a couple of months ago, the Gweis were like at 100, 200 and stuff like this.
Yeah,
it's
if
crazy.
if your end stakes run exactly in this time, that's a bit bad. But usually within the 2 weeks of grace period, you find good fees as well.
Patrick, next question, DK Hex again. No, next one. It is good time to launch Hex in the bear market?
Yes, so Hex was launched in the bear market, pretty much like at the bottom of the bear market, there was only like because of the COVID dip, 4 months after the Hex launch, that there was another drawback to those previous points, like November, December, and then the bull market started. So after this dip in March, Ethereum went ahead and made like 50x, Bitcoin went ahead and made like 15x, and Hex went ahead and made over 1,000 of X. So that was pretty good timing, I would say. And I'm not sure if the bottom of the crypto markets is already in, and most likely I would say no. But still, it's a good environment to start at a time when not everybody is looking at which crypto to buy. And that was like a year ago. Everybody was looking in which crypto to buy, and they FOMOed into every shitcoin there is. And I guess it's better to start with a group of people which are only like-minded and interested, and not try to get rich tomorrow. And when you look at the Hex Price Chart in the first few months, there were 2 huge drawbacks. 2. Even actually 3, because it was the first day till day 33. Then there was like just 2 weeks of run up. Then there was another 70% drawback. No, those 2. Yeah, so the 91 and the 70 something one, and then Hex went ahead and made also like newer highs compared to the launch price, to the first day price. And when it comes to Pulse and Pulse X, we have like a little differently. Hex came like out of nowhere with just a little bit of Hex. That's why it got so overpriced on the first day. And then they didn't saw, so the general market did not saw that it's 350 days of launch phase, and that's why we had such a correction, and also all this tailwind towards Richard and all these negative articles.
Oh
and
yeah,
so on.
there was a lot of fun going on in the beginning, and I guess this is why a lot of people did not get in, right? I was just mentioning how 1 year ago the Hex price was like just 1 cent, and DK Hexican is saying a lot of us didn't get in that early. I got in at 7 cents, so congratulations, you already made a double here, right?
And when it now comes to Pulse Chain and Pulse X, we have the total supply already done, and it's so hard to say. There are so much scenarios which could play out, and it's so hard to say what will happen in the beginning. Because in the beginning of Hex, nearly nobody had Hex. Now in the beginning of Pulse and Pulse X, all the coins are already in people's hands. And stay there liquid. And yeah, that's why a lot of things can happen. And we have 2 coins launching at the same time. So lots of things can also happen between the 2. There is a possibility that Pulse Chain goes to the moon and Pulse X goes down. There is a possibility that both go up together or go down together. There is a possibility that we start with a really low price and then make already 100x in the first few weeks because the starting price was so low. There is also a possibility that the starting price is pretty high and then we see like the first 85% correction in the beginning. We really don't know, and we will see how that plays out.
All right, so we have Jerry here. He's saying hello, Patrick.
Hi.
Jerry's also saying hello to me. Thank you for being here, Jerry. Thanks for all the other participants that are watching and also texting us here and asking questions in the chat. Really, really helps us doing that show. And of course, we only do it for you guys. So please like and subscribe and also hit the bell. We are 60 minutes in now.
I cannot read the chat. What is this with 5 years younger?
Jerry's saying I look 5 years younger without the goatee.
Okay.
It's definitely coming back. I love my goatee, and the mustache is coming back as well. My girl likes it a lot. So
it comes back for the next race, or what, for the 5th?
I do not know if I can pull it up until Vegas. It's not growing that fast, but it will definitely be fun. So yeah, we talked about Hex, about Pulse and Pulse X. We went through all our questions. Now the last thing to talk about maybe is that the tour here, our 5555 tour, is going to an end. We are in Phoenix right now. Next workshop tomorrow. We discussed that as well. Last stop in Vegas, and then what is going on with the tour?
So yeah, what is there to come after Vegas? So after Vegas, all the Texas Hexicans out there might know there is an event going on in Texas called South by Southwest, and we will make an appearance there. So the two Audis, the R8 and the Q7, will be at South by Southwest, will be there parked in the valet, you know, that people can see it as well. The nice hex wrapped Audi. A lot of Texas OGs already told us that they will be there. There will be a party going on as well. I don't know the details of the date yet, but please, if you are a Texas Hexican, then go in the Telegram group of the Texas Hexicans and start communicating with them. Start communicating with one of the OGs, Cass. He's like pretty active there as well. And let's bring a nice promotion event together for Hex Pulse Chain and PulseX.
And Donald Brand is saying, everyone, please remember to like and share this video on all your social media channels. Yes, thank you, Donald. This helps us a lot. We always need this little reminder to like and subscribe, because even I forget sometimes to like Richard Hart's stream. So 60 Minutes in Crypto Sparbook is known for short streams. We discussed everything. If you have further questions, just shoot us a message. And then I cannot wait for Vegas and see you next week.
Yes, so all the best, guys. Have fun. Don't be too sad with the price of Hex right now. There is a lot of come in the future. And that's it. Have fun and see you in Vegas. Bye-bye.